right? I am disgusted with the things that happened in Minneapolis. Period, point blank. Things could have went way different. At the end of the day, let's talk facts. Guy is on the ground. He's laying on his stomach. He have handcuffs on. It's 4 of y'all, 1 of him. 4 of y'all, 1 of him. Who has control of this situation? It's not much one person could do against 4 people. Now let's get deeper, right? As an officer, you are a first responder, right? So if in the midst of you trying to gain compliance, someone is hurt, you have to render aid. So somebody saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, you don't think to yourself and say, oh my gosh, this guy can't breathe, he might die. Let me render aid, right? Another point, officers, other officers, if you're going to be an officer that's going to stand there and not help when things go wrong, come on, like you don't see that? That's the reason I got behind this badge, right? Because I want them officers that's afraid to step up, I want to be the one to step up. If I see wrong happening, wrong is not happening in my presence, right? I'm going to check it. And that's period.
First off, I want to say to the Floyd family, I am truly sorry for your loss, and that should have never happened. And I hope justice prevails. And I hope those people are found to be guilty of murder, because that's what that was. Second, I want to say that we got to change this. We got to break these barriers and these walls, and we got to do what we can as police officers. So 5 years ago, I did a traffic stop where a young man thought I was going to hurt or kill his dad because of the color of his skin. And that broke my heart. And from that moment on, I decided to change the way I do policing. And I get out of my car every day. And I get to know the people that I protect and the people that I serve. I build relationships, I talk, and I commune with them. I let them see who I am underneath this vest and who I am underneath this badge, so the innocent people don't have to fear me anymore, because that's not what we signed up for. So I challenge the other law enforcement officers, get out of your car and get to know the people you protect.
I'm sorry if this offends my Thin Blue Line family. With all the stuff that's going on in Minneapolis, I will say, you know, he was murdered for sure. Then, you know, with the 3 officers just sitting there and, you know, just watching this happen, they are all as just as guilty as the officer that actually, you know, committed. As far as my law enforcement people out there, please stay safe. Please watch your back, because now everything is back on us again. Obviously, you know, with this COVID stuff, things are already bad. And now with this, please just watch yourself out there. I'm sorry if this offends anyone. You can block me, you can delete me, I don't care, but it needs to be said.
So I got a chance to watch this video of George Floyd being murdered on the streets of Minnesota. Yeah, murdered. And we have an obligation as good officers to speak out against the bad. We have an obligation, and we owe it to the public and to the other officers in this country that are out here actually trying to do good, actually trying to protect and serve with honor. And if you stay quiet and don't speak out against it because you're fear of judgment, you're complicit in the behavior, the disgusting behavior. And this video is, if you haven't seen it, and I'm sure most people have now, it's disgusting. And the officer that stood by and just watched and let it happen, you're just as guilty, because you also have an obligation to protect that individual that you're arresting. It's time that we take these bad officers and speak out against them and start holding them accountable and hold them to the same laws that we expect citizens to abide by. They're not above it, and it's time that good officers start speaking out and stopping it.
So this ain't one of my normal posts, but if you're an officer and you are not appalled by what's going on in Minnesota and what happened to George Floyd, you just need to turn your badge down.
I've been a cop for 23 years. And watching the video of Mr. Floyd being pinned to the ground was one of the worst things I've seen. His fellow officers stood there. They did nothing. Y'all took an oath, man, the same oath that 800,000 of us have taken, to serve and protect our communities. Officers like this tarnish the badge. They tarnish the oath. We have to go out here and work harder to repair those relationships with our communities across the entire U.S. because it doesn't just affect one community, it affects all of them. I hope y'all are charged accordingly. To the Floyd family, I am sorry for your loss. And to my Blue family, we can't let this happen anymore.
I have to say something about what happened to George Floyd. I'm so glad it was caught on tape, because on that tape you see a man pleading for his life, a handcuffed man pleading for his life, an apathetic man on top of him, murdering him until his lifeless body was laid on a gurney. The second part of this is the officers that stood by and did nothing. We don't stand for a thin blue line in protecting that. We stand for justice, for serving, for protecting, for doing what's right. That is courage. Not being complicit and letting things like this happen. We have to have the strength to stand up and say this is wrong. So I challenge officers, don't look the other way. You stand for what's right, no matter what.
All right, TikTok, good morning. Mike Honcho here. Got to go quick because I got a lot to say. This whole George Floyd incident, yeah, it was murder. What those officers did was wrong. It was illegal, and I hope that they are punished accordingly. I'm glad they were fired. I hope they get charged accordingly to the crime, because that's what needs to happen. These guys that wear badges, that are bad dudes, that we don't like, that we hate more than you, we want them gone. They need to be gone. They do not deserve to be in this profession, and it pisses me off that there are some people saying, wait, we need to hear the whole story. BS. We don't need to hear nothing. Nowhere in defensive tactics training are you learn to put your knee across somebody's neck for 9 minutes while they're screaming for help. If you have that thought and mentality, get the hell out of the field right now. Not all cops are bad, but you're making us look bad. TikTok, guys, be safe, be careful. I love you all. I'll see you next time.
I've seen the video of George Floyd's murder. That's what I believe it was murder by a police officer, and I'm not okay with that. I am not okay with somebody in my profession doing something like that to another human being. The man goes unconscious and they don't even provide CPR or aid to him. They continue to kneel on him. That is not okay. And if you as a police officer can watch that video and not think something's wrong, you are part of this problem. You are part of the problem that we face every single day trying to weed out the bad apples, because you don't admit when somebody did something wrong simply because you're blinded by the police officer family. George Floyd's family, I'm sorry. This was not okay. And I will do everything in my power to ensure that justice is served. I'm sorry.
It ain't me. It's not me. I'm going to let y'all know that now. It's not us guys neither. And I'm glad that y'all said that. It's not us. It's the police. This the madness that they spark up. This is what they encourage. This is what they provoke. This is what you get out of you taking a loved one from someone. This is what you get. You get a lot of people that's hurt, and they can't vent the right way. They can't no longer depend on the police to be here to protect us like they say they're going to do. So this is what you get. And no, it's not going to end today. I can't tell you it's going to end tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to end. But it's for y'all to start. We're not the ones that's killing us. Y'all killing us. We can't make a change if y'all don't change.